Let us spend some time with today's Gospel from Luke chapter 1 from verses 46 to 56. This famous passage is Mary's Song of Thanksgiving, the Magnificat, in which she gives thanks for being elected to be the mother of the Messiah, the Son of God. It is a wonderful and positive vision. If the story of the prodigal son, the lost sheep, and the lost and found drachma are the stories in Luke's Gospel which are called the hearts of the Gospels, the heart of the whole Scriptures, it is equally true to Mary's Song of Thanksgiving. Why? We can contemplate this profound prayer of joy and gratitude as a prayer which expresses the fullness of God's Sabbath when we are fully with God. God's Sabbath is more than just a liturgical celebration when we worship God in the temple, in our churches. It is sharing God's life, absorbing all the healing, all the growth, all the light as directly from as close as we can. Sabbath is the experience when we can see things clearly, when we are capable of highlighting those things in our lives and the life of the world which needs to be amended and changed. It is not accidental that when in John's Gospel, in chapter 5, when Jesus heals the paralytic on Sabbath day, after the person being healed, Jesus tells him, "Do not sin no longer." And when his opponents are protesting that the problem is that you were healing on Sabbath day, actually there is no contradiction between the two, not even a tension. Jesus heals on the Sabbath day, violating the expectation of his opponents that no work should be done, not even good work, on Sabbath day. But then Jesus says that, "Go, but sin no more." Return to the spirit of Sabbath. Stay in the presence of your God. Worship God. Give Him thanks. So He restores this very unique experience, which is far more important than a daily, for us Christians on Sunday, a daily celebration of the Eucharist on our Sabbath day, on the Lord's Day. Mary's Song of the Magnificat is the extension of God's Sabbath. She shows what happens, what kind of transformation is taking place when we dwell in the Lord's Day, when we extend the Lord's Day, when we extend God's kingdom, which is synonymous with the Lord's Day, which is synonymous with the Sabbath. He has pulled down princes from their thrones and exalted the lowly. He has shown the power of his arm. He has routed the proud of heart. The hungry he has filled with good things, the rich he sent away. And this is at the heart of Christian mission and evangelization, not to let the world to forget that Sabbath is that zone, that region, that experience which revitalizes us, which regenerates us, we recreates continuously our truer self. And against this background, I'd like to continue with a brief paragraph from Evangelii Gaudium, the joy of the gospel, the apostolic exhortation and the proclamation of the gospel in today's world by Pope Francis. And in this light, we can read the task of our church to renew itself, to be able to spread God's words as our ability to experience God's Sabbath, the Lord's Day, as the kingdom of God, and bring it into contact with our world, or to be more precise, to bring our world in contact with God's Sabbath, the Lord's Day. Paragraph 29. Other church institutions, basic communities and small communities, movements and forms of association are a source of enrichment for the church, raised up by the Spirit for evangelizing different areas and sectors. Frequently, they bring a new evangelizing fervor and a new capacity for dialogue with the world, whereby the church is renewed. But it will prove beneficial for them not to lose contact with the rich reality of the local parish and to participate readily in the overall pastoral activity of the particular church. This kind of integration will prevent them from concentrating only on part of the gospel or the church, or becoming nomads without roots. Each particular church, as a portion of the Catholic Church under the leadership of its bishop, is likewise called to missionary conversion. It is the primary subject of evangelization, since it is the concrete manifestation of the one church in one specific place, and in it the one Holy Catholic and Apostolic Church of Christ is truly present and operative. It is the Church incarnate in a certain place, equipped with all the means of salvation bestowed by Christ, but with local features. Its joy is communicating Jesus Christ, is expressed both by a concern to preach him to areas in greater need and in constantly going forth to the outskirts of its own territory or towards new socio-cultural settings. Wherever the need for the light and life of the risen Christ is greatest, it will want to be there. To make this missionary impulse ever more focused, generous and faithful, I encourage each particular church to undertake a resolute process of discernment, purification and reform. We can link this, what the Pope has just said, to the Magnificat, that Mary's Magnificat, the depth of this prayer, is our resource for mission. this is the motivation and the very sustenance of our missionary conversion. The Pope puts this into this important phrase: our call is missionary conversion.